I read this article. Rick Ross has he has a very large house in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house.
And they actually just shot a movie there. I forget what movie it was, but it's called The Promised Land. It's the former home of Evander Holyfield,
Yes.
the boxer. And Rick Ross is one of the he's one of the few rappers that is really like, well, not few. A lot of rappers are like well-known entrepreneurs, businessmen, and all this stuff, and have different ventures, record labels, whatever. But he owns over 30 Wingstop locations throughout the states. He has a record label. You know, he has had a lot of high charting albums, whatever. He's been in the game for over 10 years, but he's always a respectable business guy. But I was just reading this interview before, and he revealed that he cuts his own grass to save money. And he was talking about, I guess before he bought the house, he was told that Evander Holyfield spent over $1 million every year just to pay to get the whole 200 acres of grass cut. But he said every week he gets on the fucking I'll read it here. The quote he said here is, when I bought the estate, locals would see me walk out of a restaurant and scream, Holyfield spent $1 million a year to cut the grass. He said, so I decided that I was going to cut.
That's an insane thing for you to yell.
Nuts.
You do know that you live in a place where somebody paid $1 million for that grass.
Yeah,
I feel like that didn't happen.
That's too much grass. He's at like Dairy Queen. Like, Ross, it's a bad idea.
They came out of the restaurant. They're like, yo, you fuck too many women. Like, nobody's going to say something like
everything that they could
you
be
should
yelling
slow
at him
down.
for. You should stop buying Wingstops. Just like, you got too much grass, sir. He goes, so I decided I was going to cut my own grass, and that's what I did. I went down to John Deere and asked to see the biggest tractor, the most efficient tractor. I told him I had 200-plus acres. Imagine working at whatever place sold these John Deere tractors. Rick Ross comes in. He's like, I got a big house, a lot of grass. What's the most efficient tractor you got? And they're like, this is a great day at fucking John Deere. You get to sell Rick Ross a tractor. But so I told them I had 200-plus acres that I want to keep cut, and they pointed out the right tractor. I bought it right there and then. I bought the extended attachment on the back that would cut even wider. And then I love how that's written. Ricky Rozay continues. Once I got it back home, I filled it up with gas.
Spider hanging off your microphone right now, bro. Look
Shout out to Young Thug.
He's still there.
Oh my God,
there, bro.
This is what happens when you fucking record outside. God damn, bro, get away.
We should just died with the pimps.
Anyway, he goes. I sit there. He goes, but I may have sat in the same spot for 2 hours before I got everything working, but once I got it going, I didn't stop. I cut grass for about 5 hours.
Good job, Rick Ross.
He said, I sit there and have my cannabis rolled up, and man, I look at the property and can appreciate my struggles and my triumphs, those rough days.
200 acres in 5 hours?
He said, it's the smallest thing, but it keeps a smile on my face. So
That's got to be a huge tractor, bro. My grandmother has like nearly an acre of fucking...
He said it took him 2 hours to set it up, so... But he said, for anybody who doesn't cut their own grass, I would say take time out every 2 or 3 months to cut your grass because it is such a great and peaceful sensation. Now, I don't own any property yet to be able to cut my grass and cut my grass for an extended period of time to be able to just sit back. And I don't smoke weed. So to be able to recreate this situation for myself, I'm going to have to make some life changes. But sounds like a great time. You're working hard. You get to appreciate what your hard work has gotten you. You get this big house. It takes you 5 hours to cut the grass. You could take 5 hours out of your work week and fucking you're in the studio, you're doing shows, you're doing other business shit, you own all these restaurants, and you got to cut the grass. It's a perfect time to do it yourself. But I kind of I understand that. Like, we all need those different activities that kind of, like, take us out from our day-to-day life where it's just, like, helps us think about shit, maybe get ideas, reflect on previous decisions or just things that, like, when I go for runs, it's less of me doing it for the physical activity aspect and more of just like the fact that this is just like something that
like meditation.
Yeah, it's like meditation and it requires all of your attention. Like you can't answer text or scroll through Instagram while you're going for a run.
You're taking your mind out of
everything. You're taking your mind at everything, and it's benefiting you physically, but it's also benefiting you mentally. And I always find myself more inspired and more motivated to do the remaining tasks that I have in the day after I go for a run. And I feel better, obviously, physically and stuff, too. And I feel like certain stuff like that, no matter how successful you get, it's important to probably have that activity, whether it's working out or for him, it's fucking mowing your lawn, that you can kind of just take time out, relax. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, we live in such a time where everyone's like, you know, if you look in certain spots, it's like you got to work all the fucking time. We live in this fucking capitalistic fucking grind fucking mentality. And I can be, you know, I can be guilty of absorbing that mindset to a degree sometimes too. But You know, it's nice to hear, like, there's just such a strange, not strange, but it's an unusual type of advice that you would hear from a rapper or someone in, like, a public figure space or whatever. It's like, mow your lawn.
It sounds a little suspect to me, and I'll tell you why. Because my grandmother went and spent a shit ton of money on a real nice John Deere lawnmower that probably doesn't have as wide a cutting area as this thing. But my grandmother might have a acre, and she has a lot of land.
Mm-hmm.
She might have a acre, and that would take me like 45 minutes. So unless he's got like a 200-foot wide tractor, like there's no way he's doing 200 acres.
It's probably
in 5
not a
hours.
field. It's probably shaped weird, so you need to drive differently. And he might take his time, and there's different.
No, if he's taking
but there's different aspects that go into it,
that's
like his
cutting lawn on
properties.
crack, bro.
But
There's no way. It takes me an hour almost to do one.
What were you saying?
You're talking about 205. That's a big ass tractor. Like, there's no way. It just doesn't. The math doesn't make sense to me.
I think he got a few homies. I think I watched.
Yeah, like 25 homies and 25 tractors.
No, man, you might be underestimating the John Deere.
No, but
he got.
no, but
I got the John Deere.
No, look
He
at
got a
but
better
look
one.
at some of the look at some of the tractors farmers have to clear fields.
I know, but I'm saying like you need like 4 of those.
Rick
to
Ross
do
needs to
that
come
kind
on this podcast right now and break down
It's
the
cap, Rick
step-by-step
Ross.
process of how he's mowing the lawn.
I don't
He
believe
said it
it.
takes 5 or 6 hours. No?
No, I know what you're saying.
Am I talking too loud?
No, keep going.
No, me.
No, I'm stopping. Yeah.
Oh.
Just keep talking.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
I
It's
did
the
the-
light.
I
Keep
did, I
talking,
did the
keep
cupped hands on the mic, and it was like, yo.
Oh, don't do the cup.
It clipped like it kept.
Oh,
I
okay.
capped.
That's going to hurt in the headphones when watching this tomorrow. But yeah, Rick Ross, if you're watching this, maybe we make this a clip. Is Rick Ross capping about mowing the 200
lawn
acres? Yeah, that's
mathematics.
true. 200 acres is
It's
fucking
a
insane.
lot of space.
That's a lot of space.
If I do one
He's
in
like,
an hour, and
I
like
thought
a
it was
regular
20.
lawnmower,
Yeah, no, I thought it was
that
20.
sounds
Yeah,
insane. There's no way that's real.
200 that's a lot. That's a lot of land to mow.
Bro,
you
5
know
hours?
what,
That's like 5 days.
You don't even question it because the takeaway from it is like you just picture Rick Ross mowing his lawn, and it's a really pleasing thought. I'm like, oh, that's humble, bro. Mow your own lawn.
I mowed a lot of lawn in my lifetime, and that's the only reason I'm saying that's bullshit, because I know that my grandmother told me one time her land is like roughly an acre or something like that. So if it takes me 45 minutes when I'm rushing to do that, there's no way you can have a tractor big enough to do 200 acres in 5 hours.
But it's so funny when I
Because
bought the Fayetteville
if you
estate.
multiply what I have by 5, that's 5 hours to do. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
It's just so funny. He's like, locals would see me walk out of a restaurant and scream, "You know, Holyfield spent $1 million a year to cut the grass." It was
that's
like
what I'm
there was someone was
saying.
out. Someone was out. There was the locals of the community were always like,
They were worried about his lawn.
"The lawn is
They
fucked."
were like, "Hey, that's Rick Ross." They're like, "Hey, you know
They're
how
gonna-
long you're gonna have
they're
to
gonna
mow
be-
that lawn
They're
for?"
gonna be like, what? They could have been like, "When's your next album coming out? What does Drake smell like?" But no, Rick Ross
Your
is saying,
lawn? That's $1 million.
yeah,
lawn,
everyone.
brother.
He's claiming that people were the most concerned.
You know
about
what?
his
There's
lawn.
probably like a 65-year-old guy's walking at a fucking Whole Foods that's like,
It's the
"Yeah, I know
OGs.
where you live, brother, and that lawn, that's $1 million lawn, brother."
Yeah, that's a fact.
Lives next to Hulk Hogan.
Fucking no doubt, man. I saw that.
I'm looking at the tractor here, and it actually
It's
has
gotta be
like 3 attachments on the back.
Is it like 100 feet wide?
No, but
There's no way he's doing it without that.
it has 3 wide mowers on the back that look like they can like spread out.
I don't
That
think you
looks
could
like it
find
can be
that.
really wide.
Wait, so did you find the tractor that he is claiming that he uses?
Yes, but I can't zoom in on the picture, and it's hard to
Yeah.
see, and it's the only one I found. But it has like 3 different attachments that can cut grass, and it looks like they have control arms to spread out.
You would need
No.
an impossibly large
And
tractor for
it's
one
a
guy to do
giant
that
flat,
5
and
hours.
it's a giant flat field.
I'm just respecting Rick Ross for cutting the lawn.
No.
I feel
At
like
the
the
end
whole
of the day,
thing's a lie.
He does.
Other than him
I
buying
watched
that tractor.
no, but I've watched some interviews with him recently, like in the past year, and he brings up the John Deere tractor a lot. Like this is a big part of his life.
All right, he
It's
may
cutting
have
the
the
lawn.
tractor.
I
He
don't-
he
may
got the
enjoy
tractor and he cuts
driving
his
it
lawn.
while
I
smoking
don't see-
weed, but he definitely
I don't-
thinks
I don't-
he definitely
but, like-
mows his own
If-
lawn
if-
in 5 hours.
We can say that he might not cut all of the yard. The 200. He might have he could have a transformer of a
Do like
fucking
a
John
tenth of
Deere
that in 5
tractor,
hours.
and it's probably not mowing his whole lawn. That's 200 acres in 5 hours. Yes, but he might be able to do it in 5
Weeks?
weeks.
No.
He got a team. They're cutting the lawn. God bless. I like the idea of just, he uses it as like a meditation.
Absolutely,
and
it is.
reflect.
If we're gonna get to that, I
when
used
I
to
mow the
listen to
lawns.
fucking music, and especially with the ride on, dude, you're just in your own zone.
Yeah.
But with the push, it's like a physical thing. It's a little bit exhausting, but when you're on
Nice.
a ride on, it's like the absolute it's like taking a shit. You know what I mean? You're just there and you're doing what you got to do until it's done. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a 5-minute shit, sometimes a 25-minute shit. Well, when you're mowing the lawn, you're on a ride on, you got a big ass yard, you're shitting for like an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a long
So you're
shit.
just there with your thoughts, or you put music on. You can kind of, and I used to do the same thing, man. Roll a joint, get on the fucking John Deere, and rip up and down the yard a million times.
Yeah. Well, it's just
It's
it's a unique activity to have been praised.
Oh,
You don't
absolutely.
see too much, but
I
just,
appreciate it.
I mean, too.
Well, that
I
was
just
why
mow
I
on the
picked
lawn.
such a
You put
bone
in
with this,
headphones
because
and you fucking push the
I can
lawnmower around.
understand
You feel it.
I can understand it, but I would no way did that in 5 hours. This is insane. It's like God level fucking lawn mowing.
Yeah.
Make more
Man,
money.
you know what I find?